World War II was one of the most important and devastating events in human history. It involved more than 60 countries and lasted from 1939 to 1945. But what made it so significant? In many ways, it was the battlespheres. World-changing clashes that shaped the outcome of the war and the future of the world. Today we'll explore 5 key battles that truly changed the course of World War II. 1. The Battle of Britain. Let's start with the skies. In 1940, after quickly conquering much of Western Europe, Nazi Germany turned its eyes on Britain. They thought if they could control the skies, they could invade the island. So began the Battle of Britain, a major air campaign between the British Royal Air Force and the German Luftwaffe. But Britain didn't back down. Even though they were outnumbered, British pilots showed incredible courage. Using radar, strong tactics, and home advantage, they managed to hold off the German assault. This was the first major defeat for Hitler, and it proved that his forces could be stopped. 2. The Battle of Stalingrad next. Go to the freezing Soviet Union. The Battle of Stalingrad was one of the deadliest battles in history. Hitler wanted to take the city of Stalingrad partly because of its name, but also because it was a key industrial center. The battle lasted for months, with brutal street fighting, freezing temperatures, and massive losses on both sides. But in the end, the Soviet Union trapped the German army in the city and forced them to surrender. This was a turning point in the war. Germany lost an entire army, and the Soviet Union began pushing west all the way to Berlin. 3. The Battle of Midway now. Let's head to the Pacific Ocean. After Japan attacked Pearl Harbor in 1941, they seemed unstoppable in the Pacific. But in June 1942, the Battle of Midway changed everything. The United States had cracked Japanese codes and knew an attack was coming. They set a trap near Midway Island. In the battle that followed, the U.S. Navy sank for Japanese aircraft carriers, which were extremely hard to replace. From that point on, Japan was on the defensive, and the U.S. slowly began to take back control of the Pacific. We're today. The Normandy landings now for one of the most famous days in modern history today, June 6, 1944. The Allies, including the U.S., Britain, and Canada, launched a huge invasion on the beaches of Normandy, France. Over 150,000 troops landed that day in one of the largest amphibious assaults ever. It was dangerous. Soldiers faced machine gun fire, mines, and obstacles. The operation was successful. The Allies broke through German defenses and began to liberate Western Europe. D-Day marked the beginning of the end for Nazi Germany. 5. The Battle of the Bulge. Just when it seemed like the war in Europe was almost over, Hitler launched one last big attack, the Battle of the Bulge. In December 1944, during a snowy winter, German forces surprised the Allies in Belgium, pushing through their lines and creating a bulge on the front. The fighting was intense, and conditions were terrible, cold, snowy, and full of danger. But the Allies held strong. Eventually, they pushed the Germans back and caused huge losses for Hitler's army. After this battle, Germany could no longer launch any major attacks. Now, why do these battles matter? Each of these battles was a turning point. They weren't just about land, they were about ideas, about freedom, and about stopping aggression. They showed how countries could come together to fight for what's right, even in the darkest times. World War II shaped the modern world, and these key battles helped decide how that world would look. By remembering them, we honor the bravery of those who fought hand. We learn important lessons about courage, strategy, and standing up against tyranny.